When this flight system from the FALKE project becomes fully operational one day, it could vastly improve the logistics and initial medical care of injured people in mass casualty incidents in inaccessible locations.
The problem with mass casualty incident is that you have a lot of casualties at the same time, and that at the beginning you don't really have an overview of how many there are, what problems arise, what kind of assistance is required at the scene, and this triage, the strategic steps to structure the whole thing, to get the overview. The aircraft flies there, flies as the crow flies, moves at 100 kilometers per hour, is there before all emergency forces, according to our vision, and can already send images of the scene, so that the information, and that is one of the most important points that I have just addressed, reaches the control center much earlier than now.
However, the possibilities should go far beyond that. The FALKE is to be able to recognize the vital data of the casualties from the air and forward them to the emergency physician.
After we have a good overview of the situation from the air, the FALKE, the flight system, can go down to a much lower altitude and approach victims individually, and then get an impression via artificial intelligence. For example, whether there are still signs of life. We use different camera systems, so with radar, with visible light, with thermal imaging cameras, so that we can measure different aspects, like movement, position, is the victim lying, is the victim sitting, is the victim standing, is the victim moving? But also concrete signs of life, like, is the victim breathing? If so, faster, slow down, or not at all? Does it still have a heartbeat? If so, slowed down, sped up, and so on. That means we get a lot of information from the camera system, fuse the information, evaluate that information, and derive a suggested sighting. In the end, it is still human intelligence that decides, do I accept it this way, or do I not?
The system has special capabilities that enhance its usefulness.
It is already a very special system. It is a flight system of fly-X drive, which can take off and land vertically, but still can efficiently fly routes by tilting the wings forward. The aircraft is electronically powered and has a flight time of 1 hour. The flight system is not controlled directly, but the Mission Control Center simply says, this is where the aircraft should go. And then the aircraft flies there completely on its own. Because if a pilot always had to look with a camera, then he would also always have to have a cellular connection or some kind of radio connection. And we want to get by without that.
In a practical exercise, the researchers have already been able to show that the project can actually work, but a lot of research is still needed before it can deliver useful data in all weather conditions.
Safety is a crucial issue. It should work regularly and always, no matter what the weather is like. The overall system, consisting of the flight system, the camera sensor technology, and the partially automated sighting algorithm in total, is quite far from market launch. Therefore, there is still a lot to do on the medical strategic side, the flight system side, and the camera sensor technology side. Partial utilization in each case, that is, camera-based contactless measurement of vital data, is something that can be very, very well imagined in other areas, where you can look from a distance without contact, without cables. How are people doing? We're not very far into that. I think that this could become a product in the next 2 to 5 years. If we exclude this partially automated inspection, because there are a lot of ethics that have to be considered, I estimate that, from a purely technical point of view, the entire system could be in routine use in 5 to 10 years.